Hey, Cooler coming at you with a 2016 Toyota Corolla S Special Edition with a CVT automatic transmission. This is a 2,000 mile oil change, and it's going to be the last one I'll be doing for a while. I normally would do cars after they've broken in. You want to get the machining pieces of metal that come from machining of the engine out of the car early on. So first off, you want to put a block behind the back wheel. As you can see, when I jacked it up, it did back up somewhat, even though I got the emergency brake on. You want to put a safety jack underneath there, as you can see I have there. Hopefully I can tell you everything. Safety glasses, rubber gloves, your wrenches, your filter wrench. This time I'm going to put the tough guard, I couldn't find it before, on the car frame. So I've used these for a long time, and they're good. And by the way, cheers everybody. Now let's move on. First thing you want to do is take the oil cap off. When you drain it, you want to let it breathe, and set it anywhere you want. I usually set them on the battery. I'll set it there this time. Pull the dipstick up a little bit like that, leave it like that. What I'm going to be putting in it again, 530 Havoline Chevron real 100% oil, not some of that fake synthetic plastic wife kind of stuff. I like the real stuff, you know. And what else? Let's see. Oh, I'm going to measure it again. I do a cold drain. Let the car set overnight, and that way there you're going to get the sediment all at the bottom. It's not going to be all circulated up around. By being hot, it's not going to help you any at all. As a matter of fact, when I put 4 quarts in it, 4 quarts always comes out cold or hot, doesn't matter. Well, when it's hot, you're not going to get the sediment out. This is all I'm trying to say. So this will be the first part of this 2,000 mile oil change. Let me show you that it has 2,000 miles on the car. It's a nice car. I recommend it. I only recommend the there you go, 2,049 miles, the one I'm driving. See, I test these cars. I buy new cars every year, and this was the last year's car, 2015 Mini Cooper Roadster. As a matter of fact, they're going to discontinue that car this year. This is last year. I have a 2014 Toyota Yaris. I'm holding on to that for a while. I put a radio in that car, and other cars I've bought that was new and I tested them was a Scion IQ. I put a cruise control fly-by-wire in that automobile, and a sway bar, and front bushings. Actually had the sway bar. I put it on video, but I somehow deleted it off of YouTube, and I guess it's gone forever. I had a Scion TCRS 8.0 model year 2013. Just so many new cars that I work on to show people what I do with them, and how I do it. And if I can do it, you can do it. You don't need to run to the dealer every time you want your car serviced. But if you have to, that's what I would recommend. Go to the dealer or somebody you trust, and don't worry about anything that anybody says. Don't let them put fear in you. You do what you want with your car. It's your automobile. My cars are all paid off, and watch them. If they try, I need to just go on with the oil change and not get into anything else. This first segment of this 2,000 mile oil change. Cooler out. Okay, Cooler coming back at you. I want you to see that the washer was never needed to be changed out. There was no leaks. And the O-ring seal on the oil filter canister did not need to be changed out. I've got over 50,000 miles on a 2009 Toyota Corolla. Believe it or not, I've never changed the ring out on the oil filter housing. How do you like that? You only do it when it leaks. And sometimes it leaks only because you didn't tighten it down properly. Okay, I've been doing this since the 60s, friends. And all new cars right up. There hasn't been a new car come out or a year that went by that I didn't buy a new car and do exactly the same thing, and nothing happens. So trust me, it's the good and best way to do it. Do not put fake stuff in your automobile unless you want to wear it out prematurely. Cooler out. Cooler back at you. I'm going to have to do this, take this drain plug off with my left hand. I just can't do it with, hold the camera with my left hand and do it with my right hand, right-handed. Second time I've taken this drain bolt off, and it should be loose enough for me to even do it with my left hand, you know. Let's see. Holy smokes. I guess I can't. Hopefully it'll stay. Oh, no, it won't stay there. I'll have to change hands so you can see I can do it. I can't see the camera and what it's doing or where it's located here. And that's what I don't like. Okay, now let's get a... Okay, there we go. There we go. Man, it took all I had to do that. Okay, good. And you want a paper towel handy to set the drain bolt on once you get it out here. Your gloves are on, so make sure your hand's underneath there. Remember, this is a cold drain. And I'm going to look to see if I do have a magnetic drain plug this time around. If I don't, I'm going to go pick one up for this car. So it'll take a few minutes. I'm right on the lip here of the garage, drive up into the garage. And sometimes you can bring some vehicles up on the lip and it will make it high enough for you to get underneath the car, believe it or not, right here at my house. Okay, anyways, I'll give it time to drain out, and then we'll measure how much came out of it. How much came out of the oil pan here, and then we'll drain the oil filter by itself into the pan, and we'll look for machining. It seems like it likes to get caught up there. Cooler out. Okay, we're looking at drain plugs, and this drain plug with the magnet on it doesn't fit because I don't even have to try. I can tell by looking at the threads. These are not the same. So, believe it or not, this time the washer's up there, and if you look at it, you can tighten that down. There we go. Washer's on. They're not putting synthetic oil in your car if that's what you want in there. They're putting recycled oil. Now it might be synthetic. By the time they're done, it will be. It won't be any good, in other words. Okay, I'm only watching what I'm doing with the camera. So once you get this off of here, let's see if I'm getting any worse. There you go. That's a Fram oil filter that was in there. Let's get it out of there now. I want to show it to you. It's got 2,000 miles on this filter, and you've got people telling you stuff like they blow up and all that kind of stuff. Well, let's see if it's blowed up and transferred itself throughout the car. Get a paper towel. I gotta wipe the oil off my hands. I don't want to get it on the camera. Okay, here we go. Does it look like it blew up to you? They're solid as a rock. Don't pay any attention to what anybody says, because they're lying. They're professional liars. They're getting paid to lie. They want you to bring it. Did on a 2016 Toyota Corolla S Special Edition with a CVT. Just put your finger in the fresh new oil like this, and then put it on this O-ring all the way around. You want fresh oil on there, is what I do, to make sure it's lubricated all the way around it. And on the bottom of the automobile, where it goes on, wipe off the area where it screws in. That paper towel's dirty. And cool it back at you. Okay. Now, like I said before on the first video, I wiped the area down where it seals on, or where it tightens down here. Well, let's see if you can see. Okay, and take a clean towel and wipe the outer edge, and let's see if you can see inside there. I don't know if you can or you can't, but just a little bit on the interior inside of it. It's hard to get my hand in there, up there. Okay, so you can see everything. Okay, that's really nice and clean. Pull her out. Okay, let's put the oil filter in. This is the Tough Guard. It's better than the CH version. Anyways, press it on until you see you got the springing up and down, and you can tell it's locked in. Now, what we want to do is go down here and put it on. And it's not an easy thing to do with a camera in your hand. Yeah, it would be nice for a lift, but it's not worth it to do it with the video. Just a video for oil change, because if I didn't have the camera in my hand, it'd be much quicker and much easier for me to deal with it. Okay. I can't tell if you can see what I'm doing or not. Went right on this time. Last time was a lot of work to get it on. Second time. I don't need to say it that way though. You don't need to tighten it down like I am with my hand, but I like the feel of it when I do it. I don't know why. Okay, let's see if this is ready to go. Oh, I gotta reset it. There we go. Okay, here we are, tightening it down a second time around. A 2,000-mile oil change on a 2016 Toyota Corolla S Special Edition with a CVT. This is probably one of the easiest things you can do. Now, when it stops like that, it feels like it's really tight. So what you want to do, even though it feels like it's not going to go any further, you want to give it a little pressure. Not a lot, but you'll feel it when it takes. There it is, oil, because it's really cheap and it's really good. And I've been using it on all my new cars, no problem at all. You can use 520, by the way, in the wintertime on this car if you want to. But in the summertime, you might want to use 530. That's my way of doing things. Cooler out, bye. Okay, cooler back at you. And what we're going to do now is pour the oil in. Make sure your funnel is clean. I have all sorts of funnels, but this one here seems to work the best. Here's the 530 Havoline 100% oil that I recommend for myself. And I want you to see this time. I'm going to put it right in there, okay? Watch me. There we go, babes. Let that fear go away. Oh, you see that fly try to go in there? I guess he liked that oil. It was like honey, huh? The real McCoy came out of the ground, babes. Crude Texas tea. Not something come from some guy that thinks he's smart in a lab. Where he pulled it out of the corn, they stole it from your food. Like they do with ethanol. Stealing your food and putting it in your car and burning up all your food. There she goes. See that? Havoline. Chevron. There's two. Where was it? Wait a minute. Let's see what we got here. Yeah. Right on. There's two. Now I'm going to take this 5 quart and fill these back up. That way you're sure you're getting 4 quarts in your automobile. And you'll notice on your dipstick it's full, but it's hard to read the dipstick, isn't it, on this car? But you'll be able to read it. If you can't read it on one side, you'll be able to read it on the other. Just wait about 5 minutes after you stop your car, or early in the morning. you'll be able to read it. Here's your third quart. Down she goes, nothing to it, easy as pie. Oh, isn't that pretty? Oh, that look good. It won't freeze up on you in the winter. I put some synthetic oil in the freezer. It scummed over on the top and getting a little crispy. And I took this oil, put it in the freezer, and it didn't freeze at all, no scum, no nothing. Like I told you before, man thinks he can create stuff and he can make stuff. He thinks he's God. He needs to stop thinking he's God, don't he? Everything comes from the ground up, and everything on the ground is God's. Okay, this is the 2,000-mile oil change on a 2016 Toyota Corolla S Special Edition with a CVT. So ends the cooler out. Okay, after you do an oil change, you might want to wash your hands before you get in the car and put your hands on the steering wheel. What I use is lava with pumice, and that really gets the dirt off of your hands, the grease, oil, and whatnot. As you can see, mine sits right there at all times. Cooler out. Okay, cooler coming at you, and we're in a 2016 Toyota Corolla S Special Edition CVT, and we're out test driving the car after an oil change. When we get home, we'll look under it to see if there's any oil leaking. And let's see, we have 2,050 miles. We're averaging 45.1 according to them. Outside 72 Fahrenheit, Florida. Yeah, beautiful Florida. No snow, no ice. Hot in the summers and humid, but I got used to it. I've been here for over 35 years. And I'm glad I came here. I'm in the same house, same wife. Met her when I was 16 years old. And I love Jesus. Oh, I love Jesus. He's the one that gave her to me. And he's the one that gives me everything. Ha. Yeah, guys, enjoy your ride. We're headed home. I'll look underneath it. We'll videotape it for you. I'm going to tell you the truth. Remember, people are being paid to be a professional liar. They work for dealers. They work for manufacturers. They're doing it for money. I work for free. Free to you and free to me. Take care. There's your oil plug, and there's your oil canister. It's as good as it gets. Cooler out. Hey, cooler coming back at you. We're finished with the oil change for the 2,000 mile that I had to do it. So, yep, this is a Toyota Corolla S Special Edition. There's the man, Jesus Christ. He's the one that helps me and helps me give you guys the truth. He gives